A new boss is appointed in an office, and he has a really fierce reputation. He's walking through the office for the first time when he spots a guy just leaning against a doorframe, doing nothing, just staring in mid-distance. The boss decides to show everybody how things are going to be from now on. He approaches the guy and asks him sternly, "What is your monthly salary?" "2,200, replies the man, a bit surprised. The boss whips out his wallet, thrusts 1,800 at the guy and yells, "There's your 2 weeks' pay. Now get out of here and never show your face again." The guy takes the money and leaves. The boss, feeling good he's shown everybody how idle hands are dealt with, asks, "So what was that lazy jerk doing in this place?" One clerk shrugs. "He just delivered our pizza." Little Johnny walks a cow through the village square. The mayor sees him and asks, "Hey Johnny, where are you going with the cow?" "I'm taking her to the bulls so she would get pregnant," answers Johnny. The mayor is shocked. "Surely your father had better be doing that." Little Johnny thinks about it for a bit and shakes his head. "Nah, I think it's really best left with the bulls."
A robber robs a bank, gets all the money and is about to leave, but before that he asks a customer who's lying on the floor, "Have you seen me rob this bank?" "Yes, sir," says the customer and gets promptly shot. "Have you seen me rob this bank?" the robber asks another customer. "Absolutely not, sir, but my wife here saw everything."
Dave was bragging to his boss one day. I know everyone there is to know. Just name someone, anyone, and I know them." Tired of his boasting, his boss called his bluff. "Okay, Dave, how about Tom Cruise?" "No dramas, boss. Tom and I are old friends, and I can prove it." So Dave and his boss fly out to Hollywood and knock on Tom Cruise's door, and Tom Cruise shouts, "Dave! What's happening? Great to see you. Come on in for a beer." Although impressed, Dave's boss is still skeptical. After they leave Cruise's house, he tells Dave that he thinks him knowing Cruise was just lucky. No, just name anyone else," Dave says. "President Biden," his boss quickly retorts. "Yup," Dave says. "Old buddies, let's fly out to Washington." And off they go. At the White House, Biden spots Dave on the tour and motions him and his boss over, saying, "Dave, what a surprise, I was just on my way to a meeting, but you and your friend come on in and let's have a beer first and catch up." Well, the boss is very shaken by now but still not totally convinced. After they leave the White House grounds, he expresses his doubts to Dave, who again implores him to name anyone else. "Pope Francis," his boss replies. "Sure," says Dave. "I've known the Pope for years." So off they fly to Rome. Dave and his boss are assembled with the masses at the Vatican's St. Peter's Square when Dave says, "This will never work. I can't catch the Pope's eye among all these people. Tell you what, I know all the guards, so let me just go upstairs and I'll come out on the balcony with the Pope." He disappears into the crowd headed towards the Vatican. Sure enough, half an hour later Dave emerges with the Pope on the balcony. But by the time Dave returns, he finds that his boss has had a heart attack and is surrounded by paramedics. Making his way to his boss' side, Dave asks him, "What happened?" His boss looks up and says, "It was the final straw. You and the Pope came out onto the balcony and the man next to me said, 'Who the is that on the balcony with Dave?'"
My dad's favorite joke. Mine too. There was a scientist working away in obscurity for years with peculiar experiments on spiders. After years and years, he placed an advertisement in several academic journals to let the community know he and was to host a live show to demonstrate his findings. At the event, hundreds were there more out of curiosity than anything, as the details of the findings were kept secret. The man himself wandered on stage and silenced the murmurs. "Today I will demonstrate 2 things. The first being that spiders can understand and respond to basic commands." The crowd laughed and jeered, but undeterred, he opened a box on his desk and a spider crawled out. "Spider, walk left." The spider moved to its left. The crowd was silenced. "Spider, move right." The spider moved right. The crowd gasped. Forward, backward, the spider responded again and again. The crowd applauded in awe. The scientist then removed all of the spider's legs. The crowd, confused by this, watched in silence. Move left. The spider didn't move. Move right. Nothing. Forward, backward, no response. This is to demonstrate my second finding. Once you remove a spider's legs, it goes deaf.
A blonde walks into a bank in New York City and asks for the loan officer. She says she's going to Europe on business for 2 weeks and needs to borrow $5,000. The bank officer says the bank will need some kind of security for the loan, so the blonde hands over the keys to a new Rolls-Royce. The car is parked on the street in front of the bank. She has the title and everything checks out. The bank agrees to accept the car as collateral for the loan. The bank's president and its officers all enjoy a good laugh at the blonde for using a $250,000 Rolls as collateral against a $5,000 loan. An employee of the bank then drives the Rolls into the bank's underground garage and parks it there. 2 weeks later, the blonde returns, repays the $5,000 and the interest, which comes to $15.41. The loan officer says, "Miss, we are very happy to have had your business, and this transaction has worked out very nicely, but we are a little puzzled. We checked you out and found that you are a multimillionaire. What puzzles us is, why would you bother to borrow $5,000? The blonde replies, "Where else in New York City can I park my car for 2 weeks for only $15.41 and expect it to be there when I return?"
A mother is cooking dinner when she hears her son come back from school. "How was your English test today?" she asked. "It was easy except I had trouble on this one difficult question." "What did it ask?" The mother replied. "It asked for the past tense of think." "What did you answer it as?" The mother says. "I couldn't really figure it out. I thought and thought and thought and thought, and I finally wrote thunk."
A woman is cooking eggs in the kitchen when her husband comes running in. Immediately, he sees the eggs and gasps in horror. "Be careful! Careful! Put in some more butter!" The wife, startled at her husband's violent reaction, dashes to the fridge to get some butter. "You're cooking too many at once. Too many! Turn them! Turn them now!" The wife, concerned by the status of her husband's mental state, forgets about the butter and goes running to the eggs. "We need butter! Are you crazy? Where are we going to get the butter? They're going to stick! Hurry!" The wife runs to the fire. "Careful about the eggs! Careful! You never listen to me when you're cooking! Never! Turn them quickly! Oh, not that quickly! Don't you know how to cook? Are you insane? Turn the damn eggs!" At this point, the wife starts crying, since she has no idea what to do. She gasps, "What is wrong with you? I know how to cook eggs." The husband simply smiles, remarks, "I just wanted to show you what it feels like while I'm driving with you in the car," and leaves. Abdul was going through a bit of a rough patch in his marriage. So after work, he decided to pay his imam a visit. He said, "I have been going through some problems with my wife. She seems like she is always angry at me. What do I do?" The imam replied, "You should spend more time with your wife, appreciate her role in your life, maybe praise her cooking once in a while." Satisfied with the advice, Abdul goes back home and his wife has set the dinner table. As he's having dinner, he says, "Darling, the food is very good today." To his surprise, his wife is upset with that and she says, 21 years we've been married to each other, and you've never appreciated my cooking. The one day I get food from the neighbors, you like it?"
A male driver is pulled over by a cop. "Man, what's the problem, officer?" Cop, "You were going at least 75 in a 55 zone." Man, "No sir, I was going 65. Wife, "Oh, Harry, you were going 80. Cop, I'm also going to give you a ticket for your broken tail light. Man, broken tail light? I didn't know about a broken tail light. Wife, oh, Harry, you've known about that tail light for weeks. Cop, I'm also going to give you a citation for not wearing your seatbelt. Man, oh, I just took it off when you were walking up to the car. Wife, oh, Harry, you never wear your seatbelt. Man, your mouth, woman. Cop, ma'am, does your husband always talk to you this way? Wife, no, only when he's drunk. Hey, there, I put a lot effort into making these videos, so please subscribe for more jokes and stay happy, thank you.